Draenor, the homeworld of the Orcs, is dying. The warlock sorcerer Gul'dan unites the Orc tribes into the Horde and uses powerful fell magic to open a portal to Azeroth, where a small band of warriors infiltrate to gather enough human captives to sacrifice so that the rest of the Horde is passed. Durotan understands that his tribe has no future on this planet, so he decides to join the Horde that the wizard has gathered. Despite his doubts, the powerful Durotan, leader of the Frostwolf tribe, his smuggled pregnant wife Draka, and his friend Orgrim are part of the commando group. During the passage, Draka betrays himself by giving birth to Durotan's son. Gul'dan helps with the birth of the child and sacrifices the life of a doe to give the dying newborn the strength to live. Orcs begin to plunder the villages of Azeroth. Sir Lothar, commander-in-chief of the Kingdom of Stormwind's forces, leads the investigation, and his squad captures Khadgar, a mage's apprentice who has infiltrated the ruined fortress to conduct his own investigation. He manages to prove the use of Fel on the dead, and he persistently asks to call the Guardian. King Rin accepts the request and sends the magician's apprentice and Lothar to the Khorajjan fortress to inform the powerful magician Medivh about this. Durotan and his people stand on the hill and watch as Blackhand attacks the village and collects unarmed people of fuel for the gates. He does not consider this correct, and Chernaruk reprimands this. In the library, Khadgar is surprised by a strange shadow. He chases him. The shadow suddenly disappears. The sign on Khadgar's hand glows on the side of the books, and he steals the manuscript in which it seems to be hidden. Having met Khadgar, Medivh holds him with his magical power and asks why he came there. Khadgar says that he renounced the oath and the reason for coming here is the strongest curse. Hearing this, Medivh immediately sets out for Stormwind. Lothar says that they need a prisoner to learn more about the enemy. Medivh accompanies the envoys along the usual trail of Fel, and their path crosses the path of the squad Orcs. In the battle, most of the Orcs and soldiers die, and Durotan and Orgrim flee, unable to fight Medivh's magic. Wanting to be captured, Lothar captures a fleeing Orc, while Khadgar does the same to Garona, an Orc hybrid who is being held as a slave because of her race. Seeing that Garona threatens to speak, the Orc tries to kill her, but Lothar saves Garona's life in exchange for her information. The king offers him freedom in exchange for his loyalty. Garona agrees and leads a squad of spies to the Orc camp. Suspicious of Gul'dan, Durotan discovers the harmful effects of Fel. He realizes that the sorcerer has destroyed his own world by using Fel too much, being too small a minority to act directly. Lothar sees the Goron Gate being built and reports that if they build the gate, they will bring more warriors to take over their planet, and they will not be able to defeat them. Durotan secret sneaks up on them and neutralizes the guard. He captures Khadgar and reports Goron wants to meet with people to defeat Gul'dan and appoints a meeting place. Durotan invited the king to a secret meeting where he agreed on his help. In the evening of the appointed day, Durotan and Carol together with their people meet. Durotan promises that if the people escape and distract them, he and his tribe will kill Gul'dan. He will free the prisoners during the attack of the people to prevent the portal from opening in exchange for refuge for him and his clan. Studying the stolen book, Khadgar discovers that Gul'dan could not open the portal to Azeroth alone, but he was most likely helped by a sorcerer from this world. Lothar tries to change his mind, which fuels his suspicions. Blackhand, who served Gul'dan, set up an ambush and disrupted Durotan's negotiations. Orgrim betrays his friend by reporting the meeting. The battle begins. Lothar protects the king and is separated from his son. Medivh protects the king and most of his army during his retreat with the help of a magical barrier, but cannot save Lothar's son, who remains on the wrong side. Blackhand, who lost his arm because of Lothar, executes his son in front of his father. A very weakened Medivh is escorted to his fortress by Garona and Khadgar. The apprentice then realizes that the Guardian has been corrupted by Fel for some time and is forced to seek help from Dalaran, his former school of magic from which he escaped many years ago. His knowledge of Fel gives him access to Elodie, an ancient mage who has been haunted for decades, respected thanks to powerful magic. The latter confirms that Medivh is infected by Fel and possessed by a powerful demon. Returning to the Orc camp, Blackhand executes members of the Frostwolf tribe on the orders of Gul'dan. Orgrim pretends to comply but allows Draka and her child to escape. Pursued by an Orc, Draka gives her child to the river and then kills his pursuer, sacrificing himself to save the child. To defeat Gul'dan, Durotan challenges him to ritual combat. Gul'dan first accepts the challenge, but in a difficult situation and knowing that the spell to open the portal will soon be cast, he asks Blackhand to finish off the enemy. The latter tells him that he must obey the laws and fight Durotan. Gul'dan cheats by draining Durotan's life until he kills him. The latter thus shows the Orc tribes the true face of Gul'dan, but the latter are subdued when Gul'dan kills the first brave ones willing to oppose him. He then made Blackhand his second, bestowing pure fel on him, increasing his already titanic strength. Succumbing to the demon, Medivh begins the spell, despite Lothar and Khadgar's attempts to stop him. The king's troops attack and try to free the captives to render the spell useless, but the Ice Wolf clan is destroyed, and they are unable to stop the first Orc reinforcements from passing through the gate. Khadgar manages to mortally wound Medivh. In agony, he uses his last strength to direct a portal to Stormwind from where the freed prisoners can escape, but he dies before the king and Garona can escape and find themselves surrounded. Realizing that Blackhand is coming to kill him so that he can become the leader of the Orcs, the king begs Garona to kill him so that she can gain glory. A grief-stricken Garona kills the king and the Orcs proclaim her leader, much to Gul'dan's dismay. Lothar arrives on a griffin and attempts to retrieve the king's body, discovering Garona's dagger and the king's mortal wound. Captured, Blackhand forces him to participate in a ritual duel. By cunning, Lothar kills Blackhand with one gesture. Gul'dan demands that the Orcs kill Lothar, but the Orcs adhere to tradition and honor the victor, allowing him to escape unharmed. Enraged by the disobedience, Gul'dan decides to kill him himself, but Garona manages to convince him that if he does so, he will forever lose the support of the Horde due to his disrespect for its traditions. So the Orc shaman resigns himself to letting Lothar go. At the king's funeral, the elves and dwarves join forces with Lothar to fight against the Orcs. Next, Gul, the son of Durotan, is taken away by an unknown person. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe.